Ooh, let's go, Commanders fans. Just want to make a quick video here. Just talking about some of the updates and some of the roster moves the Commanders had to make today. Just some of the injury updates for the most part. And they signed a dynamic edge rusher in Jaylen Holmes. Now I know Jaylen Holmes has been in the league for about 7 years. He's actually from Norfolk, Virginia. I know a lot of people who are Commanders fans are from Norfolk, Virginia. I've never been out there. 757 is the zip code. So I know a lot of people always talk about the 757, 757 repping the 757. But Jaylen Holmes, he also went to Ohio State as well. So I'm going to get into him a little bit. But let's start off with the injury report here. They actually added a guy to the injury report. Frankie Luvu was on the injury report, which is not good news, but he probably is going to play. Good news is that Brian Robinson did participate in practice. He was limited with the knee injury, so it looks like he may be trending upwards towards playing again. But Dorrance Armstrong did not participate. Like I told you guys, Dorrance Armstrong put up that Instagram post or Instagram story saying, "Lord, help me," with an IV. He showed the IV that he was connected to an IV. So we'll see what happens with that, with the rib injury. But they did put some guys on injury reserve. So they put Javonte Baptist on injury reserve, and they also put Jonathan Allen on injury reserve, which we knew that was going to happen. But Javonte Baptist, Dan Quinn is a little optimistic on Javonte Baptist. I'm not even going to say optimistic, but he's hopeful that he won't be out for long and that he won't be on injury reserve for long. But we'll see what happens with that. But this defensive line is banged up, guys. Like everybody's like, "Oh, we're going to blow out the Panthers. We're going to blow out the Panthers." I don't think that's the case, guys. The Panthers have a legit offense. Like I know Andy Dalton. I know we did to Andy Dalton a couple years ago. We knocked him out the game, and then we beat him 41-16, the Red Rocket. But Andy Dalton can sling the football. He's not scared to throw the ball downfield. And they got a guy in Deontay Johnson. They got Jatavion Sanders, the tight end. They got Chuba Hubbard, who's a darn good running back. Chuba Hubbard has had a couple 100-yard games, and this defensive line, even full health. Cleveland Farrell out there, Dorrance out there, John Allen out there. Our full strength defensive line has not been able to stop the run. So now we're almost decimated with injuries, with Cleveland Farrell being out, Dorrance on the injury list. Who else? Javonte Baptist is on IR now, and we're bringing guys off the street. And it's like this run defense. We'll see what happens, man. That's all I'm saying. Like it's gonna be tough on Sunday. Like I have no problems. Of course, we know James gonna do what he has to do. Terry, Noah Brown, Austin Eckler, B-Rob if he's healthy, Jeremy McNichols, Zach Ertz, Alamine at times. We know the offense is going to do their part. But the defense, man, it's a little concerning on Sunday. It's concerning against every team, in my opinion. And we can all agree that Ben St. Juice versus Deontay Johnson. If Joe Witt Jr. puts Ben St. Juice on Deontay Johnson at any moment during the game on Sunday, then yeah, that he needs to be evaluated. I'm not saying, of course, I know it's way too early and whatnot. It's not his fault with the personnel, but you got to put your personnel in the best spots. You cannot put Ben St. Juice on Zay Flowers, and that's inexcusable. That's inexcusable on Joe Witt Jr.'s part, in my opinion. But to get back to the defensive line, man, we're bringing in guys off. I hate to say off the streets, but Deron Holmes or Jaylen Holmes, the edge rusher, he was released by the Jets yesterday, and we signed him today. And we got Kyle Fuller coming in for a workout who hasn't played good football since 2019. So I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen Kyle Fuller play any football at all. So that's just where we're at this point. And a lot of people were in my comments yesterday said that they don't want to trade draft capital for a corner or an edge rusher. I get it. I get you want to save the picks and whatnot, but you got to think about this window. We have an opportunity to take over the NFC East this year and run away with it. But it's going to be hard to do that if we have guys that can't stop anybody. They can't stop the pass. They can't stop the run. And we just don't have the personnel. We need to add some talent here. And I'm not saying throw away a second-round pick or a third-round pick instantly, but we got to bring some guys in other than just guys that that got cut and released. Adam Peters going to have to work some magic, man. So that's just my opinion on it. I'm not saying, throw the bag at Hassan Reddick or guys like that, but you got to find some talent, man. You're going to have to trade a pick or something, because this defense is just not it, man. It's not it. So we'll see. Frankie, Johnny New's going to have to step up big time. Fedarian Mathis is going to have to step up big time. This guy, Jaylen Holmes, is going to have to step up if he plays. Sheldon Day. And like I said, even Javonte Baptist is injured. Dorrance Armstrong, we'll see if he plays. I wouldn't bet on him playing this weekend. And then Cleveland Farrell, we'll see what happens with him. I know Jordan McGee, he might play. F.A. Obata is coming back. So I'm just saying, like, it's concerning on Sunday. I think we will win. I'm 100% confident we're going to win this game, but it's going to be closer than what people think because we just can't get stops. I don't think we're going to be able to get a lot of stops on Sunday against the Panthers. I think Andy Dalton's going to be able to move the football. I think Chuba Hubbard is going to be able to run the football on this defense. But the thing is, they can't stop us. We know that for a fact. But I'm getting too much to the preview, so I'm going to stop there. I'm just going to focus on Jaylen Holmes and give you guys as much information that I have on Jaylen Holmes at this point. So I'm just venting a little bit about the defense. It's just frustrating right now because we know the potential of Jaden Daniels and, of course, how good Terry McLaurin already is. And the offensive line is playing good football. So it's just like we got to capitalize on this opportunity. And Jerry Jones yelling at radio reporters and radio hosts saying he's going to fire them and how awful the Cowboys are. And the Giants are the Giants and the Eagles barely beat the Browns, who we blew out by 30 points and didn't even have to play the whole fourth quarter. Our starters didn't even play the whole fourth quarter. All right, let's get to Jaylen Holmes, some of the information that I have on Jaylen Holmes. So Jaylen Holmes went to Ohio State. He was all Big Ten honorable mention for 2 years. He had 5 sacks in his college career. He was a starter for all. He played in all for so hold on. Holmes played in every Ohio State game from 2015 to 2017, appearing in 40 total contests. He was a 2-time All Big Ten Conference honoree, racking up 85 career tackles, 15 tackles for loss, and 5 sacks. During his time with the Buckeyes, he participated in 2 Big Ten championships, including the 2015 College Football Playoff National Championship and 5 bowl games, helping the Buckeyes go 4-1 in that stretch as well. In his whole professional career, he has 2 sacks. He has 2 sacks, 3 pass deflections, no forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries. Actually, he had 1 fumble recovery in a preseason game, but that's not a real game. 69 total tackles, 8 tackles for loss as well, and 7 quarterback hits out there. So, he's shown somewhat of a knack to get to the quarterback. He also can play defensive tackle and play in the inside. This is one tweet that I found from somebody who covers the Jets. Somebody said, quote, "My goodness, Jaylen Holmes has been impressive. His athleticism and length is on full display. Think he might need to add some weight if he's going to play full-time inside, but those raw traits have shined bright tonight. Mike Zimmer and Patterson might have found another one." So he was a former 4th-round pick. He was projected to be a 3rd-round pick looking at his draft profile coming out of Ohio State, but he ended up being a 4th-round pick. Now, he has not lived up to basically the 4th-round billing because he just hasn't played much. Let me see if he played special teams too. He has played a little bit of special teams. He played 9% special teams with the Jets in 2024, 11% special teams in 2023. 103 snaps total in 2024 with the Jets, 81 snaps in 2023, 617 snaps in 2020 with the Minnesota Vikings as a left defensive end, 14 games and 9 starts. That 2020 season, that's where he had 0 sacks, but he had 2 pass deflections and had 4 quarterback hits, so he just wasn't able to get home. So, I mean, expectations aren't really there for this guy, but he is versatile. He is dynamic. He can play multiple positions on the defensive line. 28 years old, 6'5", 283 pounds. Former 4th-round pick out of Ohio State, so he does have some pedigree there. He has a 40 overall PFF grade this year so far with the New York Jets, and he got released. Some of his strengths for his draft profile are he's long-limbed with frame to pack on more functional muscle, looks awkward in movements but is sneaky strong, can shutter out blockers' pads with strong pop from his hands. Conversion of speed to power as a bull rusher is impressive. When he gets momentum rolling downhill, played inside a scheme that asks defensive linemen to give themselves up with slants, which limits his production. Has length and natural power to become a more dominant player at the point of attack. Long levers suit him as an interior pass rusher. Has a spin move that could become a weapon. So there's some intriguing moves. I mean, he's got a good spin move, good bull rush as well. So we'll see what happens there. He was a 4-star recruit and a top 100 recruit nationally after he was credited with 21 sacks over his final 2 seasons in high school and all-state tight end as a junior. So there's some pedigree, some athleticism there as well. He also had a pass breakup in college that against Baker Mayfield that led to a 68-yard touchdown for linebacker Jerome Baker. So he played with Joey Bosa and Nick Bosa. He played behind those guys. He played with Sam Hubbard on the Buckeyes as well. So and let's look at this 40-yard dash here real quick. He ran a 4.8 40-yard dash and a 32-inch vertical leap and 25 bench press reps, which is pretty darn good. And he had a 77 athleticism score and a 70 total score in the NFL Combine in 2018. He was ranked 15th among edges and ranked 18th among edge rushers for his total score. So let's see what happens with this guy. And let's see in a couple weeks if Adam Peters does pull the trigger on a move to bring in like Hassan Reddick or Denzel Ward. Those guys got to be available first. Hassan Reddick is available, but Denzel Ward's not available just yet. Marshawn Lattimore's not available. Greg Newsom's not available just yet. J.C. Horn's not available just yet. So let's see what he does, and let's see how these next couple weeks go against the Panthers and the Bears. So, I mean, if Joey Jr. can get these guys going and playing well, but just the personnel. And also Dan Quinn said that Emmanuel Forbes will get another chance. He will get another opportunity. So we'll see what happens with that. So, like I said, I just venting a little bit, guys. So just have I know I was just venting a little bit earlier, but you guys let me know what you guys think, as always, about the signings and the guys going on IR and B-Rob and Frankie Luvu. And let's see what happens, guys. All right, you guys. Health Commanders as always. Peace.